Hello and welcome into this week's edition of the RNN Diecast review right here on Racing News Now. As always, I'm your host, Garth Allen. Thank you once again for joining me today. If this is your first time catching a Racing News Now video, consider going down below to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from RNN. Now, on today's Diecast review, it's been a while since we've seen you. It's been about a week here. I know there's not really been anything go up in the past week. It's because we're working on some great stuff for you here to kick off the season. Here in the next week or so, you're going to start seeing some cool stuff. Actually, first of next week, you'll want to be watching Twitter. Both the RNN Twitter, at RNN_all_access, as well as my personal Twitter, at the Garth Allen. You want to be watching both of those first of next week, Monday or Tuesday. Some hints at what is coming later next week. So keep an eye out for that. Cool things coming here as we're only a couple of weeks now from getting cars back on track down at Daytona and New Smyrna for the K&N East Series. So anyway, we're talking about the Diecast cars today because this is the Diecast review. So let's talk about today's Diecast review. You've seen the title. It is another raced version, so of course it is an Elite, the typical Elite box, details on the back. And the production sticker, 418 made of these Kyle Busch red, white, and blue M&Ms winning cars from the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway back in May. Let's take a look at what comes in the box. Of course, your Cup Series race winner sticker. A bag of red and silver Coke bottle shaped confetti. The generic Elite COA that they're giving out this year. And the race detail card. Kyle Busch Coca-Cola 600 winner May 27, 2018. 47th career Cup Series victory. And on the back, with Charlotte victory, Busch conquers every track. You can pause to read that if you want to. Actually, yeah, I had forgotten about that. This was the last track that Kyle had to win on, so he has now won on every track in the Cup Series. All right, so let's take a look at this beautiful car. It is really cool paint scheme, and I think that's probably why there were so many of these made. This is a popular car. Kyle Busch may not be a very popular driver, but this is a popular car because this is such a cool car. And I think this is always really cool when you can get a patriotic scheme winning on the Coke 600 or the Coke 0400 at Daytona, one of these races on a patriotic type of weekend. It's always cool to get a patriotic scheme winning in those races. So let's go ahead and take a look under the hood of this bad boy, if we can get the hood popped here. All right, so under the hood we have Toyota Let's Go Places and M&Ms. Take a look at the Elite engine detail for this season. Not a lot there, but more detail than what you get in the ARCs at least. And if you haven't heard the story, I generally always get Elites for my raced versions. I know they're not as detailed this year as they have been in the past, but for a raced version, I feel like I want the highest level of detail I can get for a raced version. So that's why I always get the Elites for these. All right, so let's take a look on the nose here. A little bit of tape across the grille. Toyota Camry, number 18, Joe Gibbs Racing. On the hood, the red, white, and blue M&Ms, as well as a little bit of that Coke bottle-shaped confetti. A little bit more confetti on the windshield. Sergeant Toth along the Monster Energy banner, of course, in this race. Each car had a different member of the Armed Services name across the windshield, which is a really cool thing that they do in the Coke 600. More confetti along the roof, as well as a couple M&M's bags. There were a couple of those on the hood as well. Number 18, the roof flaps do function, although this one doesn't seem to want to come out. Actually, I don't know if that one will come out at all. Come to find out. No, actually, that one does not want to come out at all. That's interesting. I hadn't noticed that until now. Huh. I'll have to do some digging, and there's got to be a reason that doesn't want to come out at all. That's weird. I mean, it'll move around here, like I can move it around there in the hole for it, but it doesn't actually want to come open like the other one does. Huh. I'll have to figure out a reason for that. Anyway, back window here, Kyle Busch across the back window, almost completely covered by confetti. Hashtag 18 and 18 across the deck lid. That is also almost completely covered by confetti. And then we'll take a look here under the deck lid in the trunk at the fuel cell detail. Since the deck lid doesn't open very much, it's really hard to get light down in there, but I think you can see it. Down the driver's side, contingency sponsors, of course, as usual, in the Support Our Troops tires, which is another really cool thing they do for this race. As always with the Elites, opposable front wheels. Actually, I believe that's a thing on the ARCs too, isn't it? I think it is. I don't remember. Anyway, 18 here. Lots of sponsors here in front of the rear tire. I'm not even going to go through all those. That's a lot of sponsors. NASCAR Salutes logo here on the A post. Cloth window net, Kyle Busch signature on the name rail. Sponsors down the B post, 4 winners stickers. They're down the C post as well as Stanley. And then, of course, Ream back here at the back bumper. On the back bumper, we have Food Lion, Toyota, the number 18, more confetti, and Toyota Camry. And along the right side, of course, you got yellow on this side instead of red, but otherwise pretty much the same. A little bit of dirt there in front of the right rear tire, and then a little more confetti along this side as well, but otherwise relatively the same as the driver's side. All right, so that's your look at Kyle Busch's 2018 Coca-Cola 600 race to win version. Cool looking car. I'm a little disappointed that one roof flap doesn't open. I've never honestly seen that before. I don't know why that would be. Unless somebody accidentally glued it down or something at the factory, which wouldn't surprise me with some of the fumbles that have come out of Lionel's factory in recent years. So it wouldn't surprise me, although I've never really seen that before. So I'm going to have to figure out here why that is and why that won't come open, because I had opened the roof flaps before, or I've opened the right one at least. I guess I just thought I hadn't tipped the car over enough for the left one to open, but I guess it doesn't open at all. So that's interesting. Have to do some digging on that, figure that out. If anybody's seen this before, let me know down in the comments, because that's a new one on me. I've seen a lot of interesting things on Lionel Diecast in recent years. That is something I haven't seen, is a roof flap that just doesn't open. It'll move around in the hole, but it won't actually open. So, I don't know. That's interesting. All right, so that'll do it for this week's Diecast Review. Next week on Diecast Review, as usual, Wednesday at noon. If I have my weeks correct, we're trying to go in chronological order through the entire season. So I believe the next race one we have next week will be Brett Moffitt's Iowa win. If I have my dates correct, should be Brett Moffitt's Iowa win. So we'll have a truck coming up next week on Diecast Review, so keep an eye out for that. If you like the truck diecast, I really do like the truck diecast. No, they don't have an opening hood or anything like that, or roof flaps, but the mold is actually really good, and they are really good looking diecasts. So that's something to look forward to next week here on Diecast Review. Like I said in the beginning, keep an eye on Twitter at the official RNN Twitter account at RNN_all_access, as well as my personal Twitter at TheGarthAllen. keep an eye on those early next week, Monday, Tuesday range. Will be some teases coming out as we film something first part of next week, which should, I don't want to make any promises on a date just yet, but should be out late next week. So keep an eye on that. Cool stuff coming next week. We're really excited about it, and some cool things coming besides that as well as we head into the season to kick off the season. So that, I believe, will do it for this RNN Diecast review. If you haven't done it already, go down below, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from RNN. And while you're down there, why don't you hit that big thumbs up button if you like the video. It's much appreciated when you do, and it helps us out so much when you do that. But at that, this has been an RNN Diecast review. I'm Garth Allen for Racing News Now.